Israelites turn to Gideon and they say, Gideon, look, you led us, you saved us, will you and your sons lead us? But Gideon denies their request. He knows that it's God who saved them, that it wasn't his own strength that did it. And he says, no, it's not going to be me. You guys need to turn to God and let him rule over you, because he worked through me to deliver you. And looking at Gideon's story, there's a few things that I'd like to point out. And the first is that God will meet us and call us where we're at. He didn't wait for Gideon to get tired of the Midianite threat. He didn't wait till he was bold enough to go out and do something about it. He came to Gideon while he was still a scared farmer, hiding his wheat from the Midianites, to call him to strike them down. Second is that we are to obey that call despite what fears and doubts we may have or what weaknesses we view in ourselves. Gideon thought he was just a little weakling who couldn't do anything about it, but God said, no, you're wrong, I'm still going to use you. And despite his fear, Gideon's still willing to go out at night and tear down that altar to Baal and that Asherah pole and risk upsetting his family and his neighbors because it's what he was commanded to do. And because of that initial obedience, he's given the Spirit of the Lord, which empowers him to fulfill his actual calling, which is to strike down the Midianites. The third thing is to trust in God's strength and his faithfulness. Even though Gideon had raised 32,000 men by himself, God cuts down his numbers to only 300, which forces Gideon and the Israelites to rely on God to deliver them. Because at that point, pretty sure they know that, we're not going to do this on their own with only 300 of us. It's not going to happen. And the last thing is that we have to remember that it's through God that we achieve victory. At the end of it all, Gideon could have taken the credit for the victory and could have said, yeah, I'll rule over you because I'm such a great guy and I was able to defeat the Midianites. But instead he says, it's God who did all of this. I'm just merely his vassal. Look at how weak I am. God worked through that weakness. It's him who gave us the victory. So, as we come to an end, I want to ask you what it is that God has called you to do. What weaknesses do you view in yourself? What doubts do you have about your calling? And do you let those doubts keep you from fulfilling it? I want to challenge you to, like Gideon, acknowledge those weaknesses and doubts before God, offer them up to him, and step out onto that path that he's called you to, and the confidence that he will be there with you and that he will work through those weaknesses to accomplish his calling on your life.